Hey, Edward. Hello. How you doing? We had a power outage. I had to go out and pull the generator out, get it started, jump start it with the car and put it in place, plug it in, disconnect the power from the pole. And anyway, we're here. Hey, Z. Hello. How you doing? I didn't know if I was going to make it or not. Lynn let Justin know that I was having problems. So I don't know if Justin is on or not or what, but we're here. Right, me? Yeah. I fed Mia and she's begging for her peels. Today is Thursday PM, right? Hey, me, here you go. Here's your pill pockets. Well, the power's not back. I went out and hooked up my generator. Hey, Justin. The reason it was good that Lynn let you know was because if all else failed, I had to lug my great big generator on wheels out to the garage to jump start it with the car, then log it back to plug it into the house. And
so you do have a Generac? You do have a Generac?
Hey, Drone Shots, how you doing? AZ's here. Edward.
Oh, Paul, do you?
And here comes Dominic.
Do you have a Generac?
So we're running under generator power right now.
Okay.
My neighbor has like Lynn does, has a Generac system. His just fired right up.
Oh, okay.
My lights here flickered on, flickered off. Flickered on, flickered off.
So you don't
Then
have
they
a
went off
Generac,
permanently.
right? You don't have a Generac on the side of your house. You
There's
have a
Paul
portable.
Hodges.
Hey, guys.
Murray, can you hear us? Hello, Murray.
Hey,
Can everybody hear me all right?
Murray, Murray.
Yeah, we can hear. I can hear
Murray.
you.
I don't
hey,
think he can hear us.
Paul?
Paul,
Hello?
Dominic, can you hear me all right?
I can
Yeah.
hear you now.
we
Yeah.
can hear you. We can hear you.
I can't
Yeah.
hear you guys.
Oh,
That's the problem.
Oh, I know what it is.
I
I've
was
got
sitting
an
there.
external speaker and it's not lit up.
Yeah, I kept asking him the question and he kept not answering me. I was like, something's wrong.
okay.
So once it lights up, then I get
Yeah, okay.
able to hear.
Lighting. Here we go. No.
Hey, can you give me a,
I think it did that
Yoder?
once before.
I forgot to put some on. I just got.
Wow. Yeah, we got bad weather right here on our doorstep. I'm watching the live weather right now. These guys are,
I can hear you now.
you can hear me now?
Okay.
So have you got hydro back?
Hey, Trevor.
No, I'm running generator, Paul.
No, he
Okay.
never lost water.
Yeah, just east of you, Paul. It's hit hard right now, all the way down. Diane's almost, she's on the 401 right now, but there's some bad weather there.
Let me see here. I got to reset the computer.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay.
You
I
can
can
hear
hear you
us?
good too.
Okay. Where am I?
Yeah, my generator's just a humming along,
No, good.
but it's gas powered. It's not propane or anything. So I think it runs for about 4 or 5 hours. And then I got to fuel it up again.
Yeah,
Um,
because you don't have a Generac on the side of your house like
No,
Lynn
Lynn
does.
does.
yours is
Yeah.
like one of the big, like welders, right? That you can pull around.
It's big and it's got a handle on it. You tilt it back and you can roll it, but it's heavier than hell. And
Okay. Yeah, because I knew a couple people that had ones that they were actually welders, but they were huge generators too, and they were on a little trailer.
yeah, I bet this sucker probably weighs 300, 400 pounds.
It's enough to run everything in your house, your air conditioner.
Well,
everything.
no, I turned the air off and I turned the upstairs. I turned the stove and that kind of microwave and that kind of stuff off because I just throw it off. It's wired into the box, so I can throw off different things in the house. So I don't want to overrun it, you know.
But
You
does
want
it have
the freezer running.
the capability of running your whole house if you wanted? Or have you
I
never
would
tried
imagine,
it?
but I just don't. You know, the electrician that hooked it up says I would sparingly, I wouldn't add any extra to it. So
What's up,
and since
Trevor?
I have tenants upstairs, you know, tell them to take it easy on the electricity is like talking to a wall, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's great, Trev.
There's the link right there.
Yes, finally.
Yeah, I meant to say something when I came in, but then Paul had audio
Yeah.
issues.
Hmm.
But Diane said she just come to Diane on number 3 highway, so that's probably the best it's been since she left.
Huh?
So she got to figure she can be okay. So
Well, there's all kinds of limbs down over wires and everything in town. The fire department's been running up and down the street.
there's Elvin's. I just showing Elvinston hydro tree down Elvinston.
All right, Rod.
Hello.
Hello, Rod.
I got something for you guys.
Oh, great.
Remember my question a couple of weeks ago about why is everybody
Yeah.
trying to get to Mars?
Yep.
And I said, it's because, well, of what's there. And let me share this. This is an article about, here you go. There, share.
Yeah.
That's right.
I've been saying that. For,
10,000
years.
quadrillion dollars
yeah.
on this one asteroid. It's
Yeah,
about
I've been
5
saying that
miles. It's about 5 miles
25
wide.
years that we should do that.
What is that? Gold?
All kinds of things,
Minerals.
minerals, a little bit of everything. We're sending a spacecraft up that in 2025 to go spin around it for 2-3 years to inspect.
What they had to do is
inspect
lasso
that
it,
asteroid.
pull it back a little closer.
Yeah. This is why I said this is what the race to get to Mars is about. Is the asteroid belt is sitting right there beyond Mars, and setting up a Mars base and being able to mine and push that back completely changes the world's economy. The countries that can get there can do it. Will be
Captain
Yeah.
Joe, how you doing?
Yeah, but the more
Jody, drone shots.
So if, like, say that was a solid chunk of gold and we were just able to grab it and bring it home, wouldn't that make gold kind of less valuable because there's
only
so much
if you
of it?
only if you distribute it. If
You
you
just sit and
if you
hold
grab
onto
it, sit it in the bank, and nobody can lay their hands on it, then it's still worth what it's worth.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Once you start distributing it, though, it's not gonna be worth anything.
Yes,
'Cause then
AZ,
it's
you
gonna
were
be
right.
so much of it.
AZ said he's never had a power outage out where he is because all the power and all the utilities are run underground.
Hmm.
But in the
Yeah, it is
older
in my
eastern
area, too.
cities, it's all
Yeah, but the
Wires.
problem is like out here is the same thing with the newer complexes. But there's still a lot of older infrastructure outside of those that are
Well,
still
and
above
the
ground.
main power lines are still vulnerable, right? The main
Yeah.
power lines are still on the big honking towers that run around everywhere. So it may be underground in your neighborhood, but the main power line coming in is sitting on one of those big ass honking towers.
yeah.
Well, that's like I
Mm.
said, all our new neighborhoods in our city are all underground. But the minute you go out of those neighborhoods, it all starts coming back above ground again. Because they never put any
Yeah.
of the older stuff under there.
So anyway,
But I think that it's a cost thing. It costs a lot more to bury cables and everything underground than it does to just run them pole to pole to pole to pole, you know?
Yeah, it's less headache in the long run though. Especially in a place like Florida where the power poles get knocked down every
Right.
time we have a damn hurricane.
and God knows how many millions of dollars they spend down here cutting trees back. Almost year
Well,
round.
that's what I'm saying. You think when they have like 1,000 poles go down, they would take the opportunity to go
To
ahead and
bury
drop it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you would think. Yeah.
But no, they'll spend the time putting all the poles back up, running all the cable.
Anyways, I put that article link. in
Yep,
the
AZ.
chat.
Yep, AZ said when he was living in Baltimore, everything was hanging.
Oh, can you give Trevor a wrench? Paul, we know
Wrench.
him. Cause
He's lo-
Nightbot's
he's-
timing him out.
Hey, he's looking a little gray there.
He's in a
Hang,
bunch of
hang
different
around,
channels.
Trevor.
Yep, Traver is now gonna have a blue shirt.
Yeah, hang around, Trevor.
Oh, he's only timed out for 5 seconds anyway, so.
Yeah.
Paul's got that set super low.
So anyways, that's what it's all about. That's what they're really ultimately after.
Now, Paul had the sex links that kept coming in. Those were set for 5 days being timed out.
Yeah.
And oh shit, I should have kept the article from today. Let me see if that article is still out there. When we were talking about China.
Yeah, aren't they trying to go to the moon by next year or something?
Hmm.
Yeah. No,
Well,
there was an article today talking about their economy. I should save today's. I saved one from a couple of weeks ago that I damn. I
Yeah,
should
well,
have
they're
saved
not
that
on.
one.
They're also not becoming the cheapest place to manufacture anymore. That's why
Mm.
all these companies are moving to India now. It's actually cheaper there now.
No, a little bit. The other part of it is just the vulnerability.
Well, like Apple, right? Apple got pissed off when they extorted Apple for like, what was it? $300 or $400 million.
Mm-hmm.
Chinese government did. That was when they started moving. Everything was right after that happened.
Yeah, that movement's been going on for a while. Ever since the
Welcome,
whole
Dre. How you doing?
Oh, fine.
I think Dre's at work, right?
Yeah, I'm at work still.
the world outsourced itself to China, and now the reverse of that is starting to happen.
Yep.
They're realizing that maybe putting all your eggs in one basket wasn't such a great idea. And sending all your jobs didn't exactly do you any good.
Well, the problem is the basic underline is, and I understand it, but corporate greed cannot pull back. They got get as much as I can get as much as I get as much as I can get. You know, they don't look at the total picture of what they're doing when they send and they order stuff overseas instead of manufacturing it and all those kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they take quantity over quality.
Yep. So Dre, you're keeping up the image, buddy. Look at you.
Hmm.
Yeah. But today's my Friday. I took tomorrow off. So
Oh,
Yes.
yeah,
Wow, Dre's taking a day off. Really?
You know, today's
I'm
dragging
going
ass.
to a public safety drone expo tomorrow.
oh.
Mm.
Okay, so it's not real. It's a day off, but it's not really a day off.
Yeah.
Got
I
it.
think
Okay,
I
what
would
are
call
what
that-
are those things?
It's a
Mhm.
day
I'd
off.
call that an excursion.
A
Yeah.
fun working day instead of a lousy working day. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I do some of those.
Well, it's him taking the day off from his main job for his secondary job.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the thing of it is all he has to do is put one of those safety vests on a, what is it? Dave used to say a bucket of dust, bucket of sand. And
Mannequin.
just put a pole, you know, a safety pole in his hand and do the same job, you know?
Oh, he just compared you to Tim Jackson.
Well, at one time, Justin, that's what I did when I worked construction. I used to go out there in traffic control. I still hold my traffic control card in my wallet.
I wasn't saying that about Dre. I was saying it about Tim, you know, Tim used to bug Tim Jackson. David did.
There's no problem. Like I say, you got to start somewhere.
Surprisingly, they haven't really done like they have over in Australia, where like Tim's the only one that really has to be there because of the automatic lights. Still here, they just do it old school with the 2 guys at each end.
Yeah,
One
well,
guy at each end.
technology's running behind in some areas in the US, right, Dre?
What's that again?
We got the technology to do a lot of things, but they just don't do it because it's not cost effective or they don't want to do it or
Yeah, basically cost effective. Basically, the labor is too high, so we outsource it to another country, and then it gets sold back to us as consumers.
yeah. Mark,
I was reading what Mark White put in. I said, if this would have been more in line with just the part coming talking about first responders, I could have took this as an actual work day and just left work and attended this. But since it's focusing on drones,
it's
I
broad
felt
scale, right?
yeah, it's about drones use and certain things. So I said, you know what? Instead of trying to convince the people above me, I need to go to this. I'll just take my own admin day off and go.
Well, either way, you're going to get paid anyway, right?
Yeah.
Because you're probably put in vacation time for that. right?
My yearly. See, what I get, since I don't get paid OT, they give me administrative time, 92 hours of administrative time. So I just got mine renewed, so I got a fresh 92 hours for the next year to burn up how I want to use it. And this is one of them days I'm gonna use it for this. Because like to right now, I'm sitting on. I just took, like I said, I took a week vacation, and I'm still sitting on 289 hours of vacation.
Wow.
Because I don't really go on vacation. I actually got 92 hours of admin time. We get holiday bank time. Usually I'll get another extra 30, 40 hours of holiday time during Christmas and New Year's and stuff. So I get so much time built up, I have to take time. Or I usually do I sell 40 hours back every year.
Hey Jerry, guess how much vacation time I get?
I know, lifetime, huh?
0. No, it's not called vacation time at
I say
Microsoft
you,
anymore.
Paul,
It's DT.
and, Paul, how
it's
you guys
D-
have already got
it's
that
DT.
retirement time. See,
what do you call it? What do they call it there, Rod?
It's DTO now. They did away with vacation time. So literally you can take off up to 4 weeks without manager approval.
mm-hmm.
You still have to hit your sort of metrics, whatever your sort of performance metrics are.
Right?
But literally you can take off whenever you want now. New guy walk in the door, you can take 3 weeks, you can take a 3-week vacation.
Oh, wow. I think ours, you don't accumulate vacation till you hit.
You don't
6 months
you
or
don't
a year.
accumulate vacation time anymore now.
Yeah.
Everybody's equal.
No, William.
Might as well have done it, because if you were a senior guy, I had 5 weeks vacation. I could never take 5 weeks off.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. Once you become one of the senior guys, you're always working.
Yeah. Well, that was the whole thing about at my level, they call it confidential. They gave us the admin time off because we can't earn overtime.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on, Paul? You having some power issues up there in Michigan?
Yeah, we got a hell of a storm hit us about between 3 and 4 o'clock, and it was like 70, 80 mile an hour winds and trees on wires and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, wow.
My whole neighborhood is out. The only other, I've got a generator that I kill myself lugging it around. It's one of those great big huge ones on wheels that you have to tilt it back and roll it around. And
Oh, wow. Okay.
but I had a friend of mine who's no longer with us.
Fine.
He wired me in a connection outside, and it hangs up a great big 220 line,
Mhm.
and it's wired into the box. So I have to go down and throw the regular power off and
Mhm.
then turn that on.
Yeah, I have
Okay,
one of
well,
those. I have one of those. I have the
Yeah.
junction box for the
I
generator.
saw someone in the chat type out the Generac system. I thought you had one of those big Generacs.
Lynn has a Generac,
Okay, yeah, that is something I would look into.
and
Permanent.
that's what they got next door here. I can hear his generator running.
Yeah.
You know what the problem with those are? At least here in Florida, most places don't have gas lines, so you have to use propane. You know what the problem
Oh.
with having a propane version is? When you run out, you won't get resupplied for a month after a hurricane.
Yeah, because we used to have we call lift stations run off propane. And we have
Mhm.
a Generac system for lift stations
Mm-hmm.
or for the sewage and stuff.
Yep.
And yeah,
They'll get propane. If you're not
Yeah,
if you're not a government agency and you run out of propane, good luck.
yeah.
Yeah, you'll have your air conditioning for 3 days, and then you'll run
Yeah.
out of propane, and then you'll be sweating like everybody else. So Good luck-
Everybody up
good
here,
luck on
mostly
those.
in Michigan, if you're in any kind of a town or a city or whatever, everybody has a gas line going to the house, and that's about
yeah,
it.
everybody has natural gas up there.
Right.
Not in Florida.
Oh yeah, you can go in one neighborhood and they'll have it, and then the next neighborhood right next door won't have anything.
Yeah, it's not very common.
It's because
not
it's
common
it's
down here.
actually up to the developers when they build the neighborhoods whether they want it or not.
Well,
and
my
then
neighborhood's
some
out in the
do,
middle of
some
the
don't.
woods. They would have had to run it like 10 miles to get it out here, so there's no way they were going to run it.
So you guys all electric out there, Rod, or
Yeah,
you guys
yeah,
propane?
all electric.
Electric.
Well, you could always put one of those great big propane pigs on the back corner of your property.
No, the legal rules for burying those things are rather strict too, because of environmental hazards.
So you
Yeah.
can't bury it, just have that big pig sitting out there in the back.
Well, I mean, you
You
wouldn't really
can,
want,
but there's a lot of rules about how far from property lines and other
Oh, okay.
potential electrical lines.
Because
and other
I
crap
know
that may
that's
be
what
running.
that's what they do out in the country. You know, they got the
Yeah,
green-
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. When I
Yeah.
was younger, we had one of those above ground propane tank things. So yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
if you-
I got a Generac too, but it's on natural gas.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
have natural gas, then those things are great.
yeah, in Florida, you'd want to bury it to be on the safe side because you don't want the damn thing flying.
Everybody
away or
lives in an
something
HOA.
snack.
The HOAs ain't ever going to let you put it above ground.
Yep, 70% of the neighborhoods in Florida are HOA.
So
A lot.
yeah. So yeah, you're gonna have to bury it. Oh,
Never thought about that. Check that out.
But that would be the ideal thing to do, though, to protect your whole
sure.
infrastructure of your generator. It'd be better to bury it. Because, anything could smack that thing during the storm, or
Mm.
literally
Yeah,
winds could
yeah, you
come in
guys got the
strong.
Sure.
hurricanes. You got to worry about
Right,
external damage.
Yeah, like a tree falling on it.
Yeah,
Right,
tree falling,
exactly.
or I can say like Justin was just saying, debris flying from a hurricane coming from anywhere. could
Or a
pierce
car
that
or a
tank.
car flying by and landing on
Right.
it. It's been known to happen.
Mm.
Oh yeah,
It's amazing what a hurricane to pick up and move somewhere else.
yeah.
Yep.
So I see that Laura's in the chat. I heard you guys yesterday mention somebody stole her drone in the move.
Yeah, it seems it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess on the cameras for the storage unit, they saw them put it or I don't know if it was cameras, but they said they saw Laura put the box in the storage unit. And then
Yeah.
when they got everything moved to the apartment, when they were bringing everything back out, it wasn't there, the box. So,
Kind of
That's-
narrows the suspect list down. Only a few folks had access.
And somebody stole Sarah's AirPods today off her desk while she was at work.
Their AirPods.
Yeah, she's in a private office too, so somebody went in her office and took them. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, they don't have any cameras around her office.
Hmm.
And they have the Find My AirPods thing, like your phone and your watch. And they were on the charger charging, so they had a charge, but for some reason that they're not connecting, and I can't find them.
Wow.
They're still showing as if they were at her office, but they're offline. So
There's all the
Oh, turn
outages
mine.
here. Here's Port Huron.
Okay. So is Laura and David all moved in though? Are they moved into their new place?
Pretty much, I would say.
Yeah, I think they're all in.
I think they're just moving everything around.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, we got a lot of places to the west of Maple, all no hydro.
Yeah. I would imagine there'd be a lot of them.
Yep.
Now the thing out here is what they do is that when we have high winds out here, the electric company will turn the power off themselves. But they don't want to be held responsible for wildfires.
Ah,
So
Many
they will
times
just
as they
turn-
set the place on fire, you can understand why they have that reaction now.
Yeah, like I said they will turn the power off themselves. And it's always funny that, the power goes off and then after an hour or two, you'll get an email. Oh, due to, your power's been turned off. I said, no kidding. We know that.
No
When you
shit,
going to turn
yeah.
it back on?
No shit, Sherlock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now there's no hydro, just east on the edge of half of St. Thomas right now. I'm still got hydro.
No Chuck today?
no, Chuck. We have to give up on Chuck.
Okay, so Chuck, woodchuck, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see where that storm's at now.
Mm.
Okay. Screen share. It's heading for you, Paul.
Yeah,
Oh no.
There's St. Thomas.
yeah, I know. We're just coming. Well, just right on the edge of town here, even part of St. Thomas right now has got no hydro. All the way to Iona Station, Bingo, Shedden, South Bowl. Yeah. Looks like even down where my sister lives. Down Dudley, Wardsville. No, where is West Warren?
So
Both done.
it should be just hitting you pretty good now, Paul.
Yeah, I know. I'm watching weather. It's called instant weather, severe weather. He's live right now. Yeah.
Mm.
But up, you know where Barry and Collingwood is?
Yep.
I think they had a tornado there. So
Oh, wow.
Here.
wasn't there like 3 or 4 people in California that hit 400,000 on the lottery? They
Yeah.
said there was several tickets from California.
Yeah, I think
Mm.
there's about 2 or 3 in Southern California besides the actual winner in LA.
Oh, so the actual
The
big,
actual
big
winner
dogs.
got the $1 billion. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
the
top
actual
dog
winner.
winner.
In LA. And it's crazy, Justin, because the place that sold it is right downtown in the fashion district, which is like 2 blocks from Skid Row. So I'm waiting to see who it is. Everybody's waiting to see who it is. Man. It could be a homeless person.
Yeah, wouldn't that be funny?
Like, I would be so pissed if I won the 400,000, but I'd be happy at the same time, you know? Cause I'd be
Mm.
like, I got 400 grand, but damn it, why didn't I get the big one, you know?
Dude, I tell my wife I don't need to win the big one. I said if I get anything over 150 grand, I'm out. I
Yeah.
got enough to pay for everything I need paid off. I'm out. I'll be joining
Yeah.
the Paul Murray Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The, it looks like, Chuck says he's on his way to pick up Lori from work.
Oh,
Okay.
Well, you're at least taking your wife when you're out, right?
Of course.
She's gonna come home. Where's Dre at? All the shit's gone.
She's not even gonna put in 20 years teaching. She said, when you retire, I retire. She's already said
Yeah.
that already. There's no way she's gonna let me sleep in. and
So
stay home
Dre,
for
does
about- I think
does she like to travel?
In a way, she does. She's a little skittish now because of all the incidents that have been going on, you know, on planes and other places and stuff. But she wants to
Yeah.
travel. So she's already told me there's no way I'm gonna watch you stay at home, sleep in every day for a couple of years while I still work. That's not happening.
Mm.
Yeah, Gitchy says California always wins the big pots.
Well, I mean, they're a bigger population, so it makes sense
Yep,
why
they're
have a
selling
higher
a lot
percentage.
more tickets, yeah.
Great work, Trev. We need some photos.
So we participate in all of it. We have the Mega, the Powerball, then you have the regular California State Lottery and stuff, and they got a bunch
See,
of
if they'd have been in Florida, they'd have made 7% more on that,
Mm-hmm.
all right.
not paying it in taxes.
Well, that's the way it is in Ontario too, right? Canada, right, Paul?
Yeah.
You don't pay taxes on any lottery winnings.
Although I don't care if I won $1 billion. If they took 200 million for taxes, I wouldn't really give
Exactly.
a I wouldn't be complaining.
Yeah, that billion I saw today, they're gonna get 558 million.
Yeah.
Instant
So
payout.
congratulations.
Oh.
To the, so I was just going to say congratulations to the IRS for winning the for winning.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The IRS just got rich.
Yeah.
And
Too
the
bad our
bigger
national
joke to
debt
that
is
is, Dom,
still-
in California, we started our lottery here in the mid '80s with that same old story about how it's going to help the schools,
Thanks, Trev.
how they're going to get all this money for the kids and stuff. And I just shake my
Yeah,
head.
because
every
that's
time.
where it's supposed to go, technically,
Yeah,
right?
that's where it's supposed to go, but
It ain't going.
they always
In
pass
Ohio,
it.
it does. The lottery
I know
brings a
out
lot
here
of
they're
money
always
in for school.
passing, try to put up measures to help build new school. I said, where happened to all that lottery money? You know,
Well, in
just to
reality,
cover all this stuff.
in California, actually 500 million, or wouldn't even go that far anyway, because the LA school district, I think their yearly budget is around $1 billion, ain't it?
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that, but
That's
amount
just
of
one
money
school
people
district.
put into buying lottery tickets, dude. They're collecting quite a bit of change. This is one that nobody's won since April, but people have been buying tickets every week.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, $1 a piece, and there's some people that go in and buy
I know
$20,
dollar piece out
$30
here.
worth.
It's for the big ones, the Powerball and stuff. It's
Has it
$2
gone?
a hit, dude.
Yeah, but people will still go in and spend $30 on
Oh
lottery
yeah,
tickets.
easy. The average,
So-
I think the average cost is like 20, 25 bucks average for
Of
people.
what people spend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
Usually about $50 a year.
yeah.
But we have a one centralized lottery.
hmm
Oh, I used to see people come in the stores and they'd be like, they would buy like $400 in scratch offs. And
Yeah.
instead of having the fun of scratching it off, they'd just walk up to the machine, scan it. Nope, not a winner, not a winner,
Yeah.
not a winner. And then they just throw it in the trash. I'm like, well, what fun is that? I'm like, you're straight addicted at that point.
Yeah.
When you're not even taking the
Look like
fun
folks
time.
going to these tribal casinos, think they're going to try to win the mortgage money.
But see, I would always say to scratch it, even though it says it's not a winner, because here in Florida, there was a lady who scratched off a ticket and the ticket itself said it was a winner, but the barcode said it wasn't.
Mm.
Yeah.
And so because of that, she was able to get a lawyer and they ended up
Right.
paying her the jackpot that she won, the $1 million.
It was a mistake on the system.
But imagine if she would have scanned it and it said not a winner and she just threw it in the trash.
Yeah.
Nobody would
Yeah.
ever know.
Yeah.
And it was
That's
just,
We have second chance on those as well.
yeah,
You fill your
California does
details out
it.
and send it
Yeah,
back.
second chance drawings. Yeah.
Florida
Yeah.
doesn't do that, unfortunately.
Yeah. So
Otherwise, you'd
So
be
we have
picking up
one
every
centralized
scratch off.
lottery, but it's it's regionalized to the states.
Yeah, my
So each
mom won.
state has their own lottery, but it's a pool.
Yeah, my mom won 10 grand on the second chance in California like 3-4 years back.
mhm.
She would put it because you can put I think up to like 5 or 6 scratch offs a day. There's like a limit how many you can put in.
No,
But she would do it like she would if she found them on the ground or if she would go to the gas station and her buddy would just hand her a handfuls of the old ones that people threw away. And
right.
she would always go home and sit and put them in every day.
Mm,
She ended up winning 10 grand off of one of them.
wow.
That was actually her second time winning a jackpot off scratch off. She won 15,000 one year.
There
It
he
is.
is,
Finally.
the Chuckster. Man, you dress kind of skimpy there to be having storms in your area.
My sister just,
He's not
He-
frozen. He's thinking of a comeback. Give him a minute.
I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
saying, I mean,
Just frozen.
I missed when I came in. I missed the audio because it takes a few seconds. You have to choose Wi-Fi. Blah blah blah.
oh,
blah.
I was just saying you're dressed kind of skimpy for you guys getting the kind of storms I keep seeing on the news.
Not stormy at the moment, Dre. It's looking
Oh,
a little dicey, but not bad
a little
yet.
dicey.
Why?
Get you.
He's playing the
It's moving
odds.
right towards Ingersoll.
He's
It's,
playing
Banner,
the
uh,
odds.
Ingersoll,
Well, it's
mentioned
summer,
towards
you know,
Woodstock.
summer
I'm
patterns.
gonna do a new polygon on that one because it's really cooking. I gotta keep an eye on the Barry storm though. Because I live in Barry, so there's
Look at
that.
I think that was Hodges.
Oh,
Hodges.
man.
Sound like them.
Yeah, he's
So I
keeping
guess
an eye
it's
on
not
that storm.
quite up Chuck yet, but it will be here soon. Got it.
Chuck.
So
There you
where's the little excursion you and Miss Lori heading off to this weekend?
Oh wow, Joe.
Oh, we're sticking close to the candle this weekend. I think we're gonna just do some family stuff. Just kick around. Nothing crazy.
What are you kicking?
My niece.
You gonna kick your
sister-in-law.
knees? You better watch that.
Yeah.
The cops might show up.
Actually, if I kicked her, she would kick me back harder.
Yeah, I was gonna
than
say she might
uh,
kick you back though.
Honestly,
she'd kick my ass, I think.
Joe, he probably would have had a better chance buying 10 grand in scratch offs and winning his money back than he would have buying lottery tickets.
Oh yeah, there were two winning tickets here in the middle of New York State. Looks like two second placers or something. Not me, but somebody won.
Yeah, somebody here in Florida got $1 million. There's
'Cause,
quite a few people that got $1 million out of it.
The $50 scratch offs, people hit quite a bit on those. If you were to buy 10 grand in those, you'd probably hit a couple of good ones.
Yeah.
If you spent 10
I-
grand on
that
$50
that
scratch
cracks
offs.
me up when people get a little money and then they turn around and spend it right back on digital tickets. I'm
Right?
like, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
Well, see, I always start-
lightning doesn't strike twice typically.
Right.
So
This is the way I do it, Dre. So say I buy a $10 scratch off,
statistically,
right? Say I
Uh-huh.
buy a $10 scratch off, I win $40. I'll go back and spend the additional 10 that I started with, keep the 30, and then if I don't win again, I just stop.
No, Chuck,
See,
that's not true.
That's the
That
philosophy
one,
I use when I go to casinos. That if I get my money back, put my money
That's
in my
what I
pocket,
do.
and I'll play with the house money. But lottery tickets, dude, well, I never won anything, so I can't say what I know. This I would not
Lori
be
and I
going
never
back
win
to the
anything
store.
either. Lori and I play occasionally. We just can't win. Whatever.
Yeah.
Not in
so
the
keep in
cards,
mind,
man.
Chuck, that one ranger got struck 7 times by lightning.
Oh,
So
I forgot about that,
more,
dude.
you get struck more than once.
That poor
They
bastard.
get
He's
struck
just like a-
7
like a
times.
Human lightning rod.
And he lived.
Hmm.
That's the interesting
Wasn't it
part
the one-
about that.
What was the movie that had the one guy that was scared of lightning because he kept getting zapped? What movie was that? I think it had Chevy Chase in it. I can't remember now. Anyway,
mm.
doesn't matter. Yeah, I think it was based on that guy, that Ranger guy could get
On the
fried.
Ranger guy? Yeah.
Well, there was a guy in real life who got struck, or no, it was a lady. I think she got struck 3 times in her life. And it was a whole little mini documentary on YouTube. It was
Hmm.
about people getting struck by lightning. It was the one with William Shatner, that
Yeah.
show he did about Unbelievable or whatever it was
The
called.
Unexpected or something like that.
Yeah, and he was
Captain
one of the
Kirk.
thing was about these
Yeah.
3 or 4 people, and they were doing a story on them, and it was about how these 3 or 4 people just seemed to
I'd
be
agree with that,
attracted to
Edward.
lightning, and they've all been hit multiple times by it.
Wow, imagine being lightning proof.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they had all the experts on there giving their opinions of why they think certain people might be more, attracted to lightning, but they don't really have a definitive answer on it.
They're attractive.
Dude, I'll tell you what, when it starts lightning in
I think a
Florida,
golfer did. I'm not sure if it was Lee Trevino though, Mark.
I'll tell you what too, Rod. I mean, Rod lives in Florida. Dude, you get these golfers out there, they're freaking nuts, dude. They'll be out there at the driving range in the middle of a damn lightning storm. I'm like,
Yeah, why
Yeah.
not?
it's-
I don't give a shit
it's-
if those clubs aren't conductive or not. I'm not standing out in that crap.
Yeah.
They're stupid, man. I'm sorry.
Please go over here, stand under
It's
this
great shorts
tree.
content. You need to get right up beside
Oh,
that.
great, Dom. It'll be your last
That's-
video.
Especially when you're standing in the middle of a golf course, there's nothing high around you. You're the highest point in the whole golf course.
Yeah.
The last
Hit-
video. What the hell? Oh, here come the Popo. There go the Popo.
Oh, we had a crazy chase yesterday in LA, dude. This guy they were chasing this guy for like over 4 or 5 hours.
You guys have
Carjacked 3
so many-
cars during the chase.
And he
Yeah,
didn't run
they,
into people. What
guys have
wouldn't
so many
happen if
insane-
it was an electric car? Probably would have lasted an hour at best.
You
Well,
guys
the
have
one-
so many crazy chases. Like OJ Simpson seemed to like start the whole thing, and then they've all been like, there's so many crazy car chases. They have, like,
O.J.
the helicopter following
I
guys.
remember
was
that
a
on
classic
TV.
one.
Yeah,
That was
I
classic.
remember.
I
The
was
white
in my
Bronco.
office and they said, my news flash on the computer, and I'm like, turn to ABC News, and they showed this guy. It's so funny because I saw when he got the last vehicle he carjacked in the gas station. He
Hmm.
pulls in, dumps the BMW, and you see this old guy kind of looking around. And I don't know if it was his van or whatever, but
damn.
somebody was gassing up this big old,
Yep.
cargo van. He hops in that, takes off down the road, dude. I'm just like, who leaves the keys while you're
Edward.
pumping gas in the vehicle?
A lot of
Hmm.
people do. You'd be surprised.
I never do
Lot
that.
of
That's just never do that.
Well, it's like that thing they do, right? These people leave their cars unlocked, and literally while the person's pumping gas, somebody will creep into their passenger side door,
Yeah,
grab
now
their
see,
purse, and then jump in the car and haul ass.
yeah, that's
I've
a little
heard that
more,
happen.
I can expect that from people, but leaving your keys in the ignition while you're pumping gas,
Yeah, there's
I
no
know, it's a
point in
bit
that.
stupid.
that doesn't add up in any book to me. Especially when he wasn't even in the van. So that
In
means the
Florida,
guy whose
it's
van
called
was
concealed
outside the van
carry.
somewhere,
Go
or either
ahead, make
inside a
my
convenience
day.
store.
Like I
True,
said,
actually, in
Florida,
Florida.
concealed carry. Go
Mm.
ahead, make my day.
Yeah.
Oh, that
you
was
drew
like
loud
that
and clear on that.
I remember when Grady was doing a news conference about that guy that got shot and killed by that driver. He tried to hijack his car, and the reporter said something. He was like, well, he didn't pull a knife or nothing on the driver. He goes, it doesn't matter. He goes, the guy tried to pull him out of his vehicle, and he shouldn't have done it because he was running
Yeah.
from the sheriffs, and he ran up to somebody and tried to pull the guy out of his car, and the guy pulled his gun out and killed him. And the news reporters were making it seem like because the guy wasn't physically armed with a weapon, that the dude was in the wrong or something. And I was like, no, he shouldn't have freaking tried to steal the dude's car.
The stand your ground laws will cover you there. A couple years ago, there was an incident up here in Palm Coast, sort of a road rage incident between some guy in a truck and a motorcycle guy, and the guy in the truck got up on him and sort of yelling at him, and the motorcycle guy was just kind of being cool, calm, and collective. until the other guy pulled a knife out.
Mhm.
It was kind of funny. Then the motorcycle guy pulled his gun out.
don't
Let's
bring
just
a
say
knife
the
to a
other guy
gunfight,
backed
that
down.
would
The
be
other guy
bad.
backed down really quick after that.
Hmm.
Didn't turn into a
Never
shooting
bring a knife
incident.
to a gunfight.
Yeah, it did turn into a shooting incident. The guy was
It's
calm and cool
deterrence.
as collective as all get out, knowing that he had that gun there, and
Deterrence, man.
Yeah.
Deterrence.
he just pulled it out, and the other guy, he just, it was like, And then the cop showed up and took the guy with the knife away because they had it on video. Ironically, it's the guy who had the knife wife that was doing the video. That's what you get for being an idiot.
ID 10T.
Yeah. Now it's worse because as of July 1, you don't have to have a permit for concealed carry in Florida anymore. So
But like, you know, Uncle Bill did come up with a good point about that. If you have it, it's good to keep it renewed only because it's good for 34 states.
Hmm.
So
Sure.
if you
Yeah,
want to,
yeah,
if
yeah,
you're
yeah, don't
traveling, it's a
disagree.
good thing.
it's
But
good to
yeah,
get because it's good to force people to go through the training.
But as far
I-
as,
It's like 107, right? It's like having a 107 for drones. It's
Mm.
just a good
Yeah.
thing to have.
Yeah. No, don't
I
disagree.
don't start comparing that. I don't want remote ID on my gun, Chuck.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want them tracking my
Well, that's
gun.
probably
They're gonna
That'll be
put your
next.
DNA on your gun, Justin. Nobody can fire but you.
Exactly.
man, I don't think RID is no big deal. It's not. Who cares?
It's not gonna be the
Cares.
biggest deal, just like when they, said thing about registering drones and taking a trust test. I said, you're always gonna have those who are not gonna
There's not enough.
not
There just
comply.
isn't enough. There's not enough law enforcement to babysit everybody. It's just a way of keeping.
Well, I
things
mean, time's
going.
gonna tell once it starts in Saturday or in September. Then
Yeah.
you'll know. Once a year goes by, a good year of it
Mm.
being fully implemented.
So
That'll give you
let
a
me
good
ask
idea.
this question. When's the last time anybody on here got harassed? It's probably been 2 years for me.
To be honest, I had never been
Harassed?
harassed when I
I've-
was
I
out
have
flying.
twice. I have twice.
One time.
I
I
had
had
more
one
people-
time.
I had 3 or 4 people come up to me, but they were more curious and they weren't
Yeah,
harassing me.
they said I've been not approached, but people have walked past or walked near me and say, "Oh, that's cool."
I
Yeah, I do that all the
Never been
time.
outright harassed.
I had a guy approach me. He was very polite about it. He says, you can't fly your drone here. I said, why not? It's Class G airspace. It's Class G air. He's like, well, there's a local ordinance. I said, well, yeah, show it to me. Because, where is it? I don't see it. No signs. Class G airspace.
Oh, you could use that in court too if
And,
you were to get a ticket. You could say
and
there
then,
was no signs.
And he's like,
posted.
well, I'm just telling you because you should know. I said, well, I'll bring her down in a second. I'm not flying all day here. I'm almost done. I'll bring her back. But I don't see, without.
Hey,
if
Paul,
you-
was
I
it
said,
you-
I'm cool if there's an ordinance, but I need to know about it. I mean, what? I can't go like hunting high and low for an ordinance. I mean, it should be
hey,
pretty
Paul,
clear.
was it you that got harassed at one time by a Karen
Oh, yeah.
on the side of a road?
Yeah, I was in town. You can't fly those things here in the city.
Yeah. That's all I got. There's an ordinance in this town. I'm like, and I was flying over a lake. There wasn't even anybody around. It's like I'm flying. If I lose the drone, it's going into a lake. It's gonna make me a lot more sad than anybody else.
Well, the ordinance here in St. Thomas is any problem go to Transport Canada. They're the ones that control the airspace.
Yeah. So I mean, really, shouldn't it be Dre understands this better than I do for sure. And like, if there's
Yeah.
like an ordinance, shouldn't it have to be like kind of like registered or something with the FAA so that it would be on the map? Like, would
Yeah,
gonna
no
make
flight
find its way in
over.
sectional charts or something?
No,
Yeah.
because the ordinance can't control the airspace. They can only
Right.
keep you from taking off or landing, which the FAA has nothing to do with.
Yeah, Rod
like
is
this-
100% on that.
It's like the state parks here in Florida. I can't take off or land. I can
But that's
be
clear.
one
That's-
foot.
that's-
I can be 1 foot off and take off and fly over it. They can't stop me
Yeah,
from
but-
flying over it.
But that's a clear and easy rule to follow, right? You go to a state park, you know that you have to talk to park police, like, hey, I think I can't fly here, but what do I need to do to fly here if there's any people?
There's a lot of national forest here in Florida, so you can't fly there.
Yeah.
I'm just
Now,
saying
what
there needs
I've
to be a
been
better.
telling people what cities have
Mhm.
been the ones who are looking to try to limit drone activity, just like New York is doing right now, New York City, is that
Yeah.
they're grouping drone flying just like they do with filming crews.
Yeah.
Most cities in their ordinances have buried deep down about issuing permits for filming. And what do you do with your drone? You film.
Yeah.
And like I say, you know, so you got to have the argument that I'm never going to post this stuff on YouTube or anything else because now you're being in violation of their film permit process. So they can go at that route and say, well, you need to get a permit for filming within the city
Yeah.
limits, all that kind of good stuff. And that's what kind of like New York is trying to go right now. New York City, I should say, is trying to go that route by forcing people to get a permit. It's in the review stages, but I know there's some beach cities here in California that are like that you have to actually either ban drone flights like Santa Monica, Venice Beach. You can't fly there. Plus Santa Monica's controlled airspace too. But there are some
But
other
how do
ones
you
where
know-
you have to go in and get a permit for filming.
How do you learn about where you need a permit and where you don't? I mean,
You go
rules
to
need
the
to be
city-
easy to follow.
City,
right? I mean, like,
city websites will have their ordinances on there. And like you said, you have to go look for it. And that's the problem. Something
Well,
like that is
But
very
basically, though, Dre, the federal government controls the airspace.
right.
Yes.
The federal government controls the
They
airspace.
allow a little bit of local input, but my basic question has always been in my mind, and I don't want to test it, but what's to stop you from going to a no-fly zone and hand launching and hand catching a drone?
You're
That's
still
funny.
You're standing on the
Still-
ground, so they
still on the
Yeah, but
ground.
I'm not going up in the air. The drone-
no,
Right,
but you're still
right. I
you're still
I wanted
You're
the
standing
same
standing
thing.
on that ground.
If you hire a helicopter and you launch from the helicopter, you'll be okay because you weren't standing
Yeah,
on the
that'd be
ground.
fun.
But then you'd be a
What if,
violation of
what if
FAA
you drop
rules.
your drone and light up the
Probably.
props as it falls to
Or
the ground?
what if you start it up and you jump up in the air and you let it go?
Yeah. So here's one of the
Yeah,
interesting ones
well, I
in
don't
my area. There's Matanzas, Fort
I actually do
Matanzas.
hand launch. I do hand launch and catch all the time because the Mavic 3 is so easy to hand launch. And like,
So the fort is over here in the middle of the intercoastal, but
Mhm.
A1A, which is the road that you take to get there, they even have the no fly zone on A1A, which I didn't realize. I was going to go up there and fly one day. I could still get there because I could literally take off from over here by this bridge and just fly over top. And well,
Now,
you can't
the
fly
red
out. You can't
zone-
fly out. You can't fly over top of it. I could fly down the
Hmm.
river because the river's not marked red.
Yeah.
Very
You can't fly
very
over
tricky.
the land.
Very tricky.
Yeah. Here's
It is-
another
it
one.
is hard.
Because you know
that's the thing.
what?
It's super.
Those maps are
complicated.
not always accurate.
Yeah, well, here's another interesting one. So, Ken Hoffauer and I have flown this one because Ken's just north of St. Augustine. Place it here, right? So
Yeah, I ran into them in Minnesota once.
yeah. So this is the fort in downtown St. Augustine. You can't fly over the fort, but I can fly down the river. So
Yeah.
that's what we did. We flew down the river. You can literally, it's not part of a
Well,
no-fly.
I see that, part of it, when I say the majority of it's in a controlled airspace, it looks like a class D is blue.
Right on the edge.
Right,
Let's
right
see
over
here.
where
Let
it
me see
cuts-
what the
it
altitude.
cuts
Let me
right
see what the
through.
altitude. Let me see what the altitude. See the altitude limit's
Joe, what?
400 feet.
Joe, what app is that? What are you using? I can't tell. I'm driving.
So it's 400 feet right there, Jerry. So it's
Yeah,
kind
I
of
think
like
what
class
that.
experience-
D,
what are you
you get
using-
less
what are you
to
using
prove
for
where
the
you
data?
fly.
You still got to get length, but you can literally
Right.
fly. You can literally fly down the river and
Yeah,
right
you
by
fly-
the
you
right
fly
by the
down near
fort.
bridge, you're good.
Yeah, I can fly right by the fort.
Oh, out in the water?
Yeah, you can fly out in the water. Look at this. It's
I'm
literally
looking at
just
the class D out in the water coming just to the, I guess it'd be the east of the fort.
yeah. That's still 400 foot right there.
Right.
You need
Right.
length, but it's still 400 foot. So literally
Yeah.
you can fly, and when we did it, we just flew sideways and took pictures of the fort over the
Right.
water. 100% legal. It's literally
Mhm.
just over the fort. Where that other one I showed you, not only is it over the fort, it's across the river and on part of the land where the highway is.
Yeah.
That one's an interesting one. The one I've never been out to are some of these special use ones that are out here. You know what these are?
Later, Laura.
Military air ranges.
That's what I was thinking. Probably it's not like the military.
It's military.
Yeah.
So apparently you can still fly there, but I don't know what the rules are for flying.
Well,
there. I don't know.
you have to get usually the military. You have to get permission from
Permission,
because
yeah.
they control the airspace itself.
Yeah.
You got to get permission from
Obviously.
the military to fly in that airspace.
Obviously, I'm
What
not
app
gonna.
are you
I
using?
wouldn't try it. What happened?
What
This
app
is
are you
the
using?
yeah. This is just ALOFs before you fly on the
Oh,
web.
okay, before you fly. Okay, I was curious because
Yeah.
Air Map is gone. It's been gone for a
Yeah,
while.
yeah. This is
Yeah.
before you. This is before you fly. This is
Okay.
how I get my
Just
Lank
curious.
approval. This is what I use to get my Lank approval.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I
before you fly on the
haven't
phone.
done Lance. I haven't done Lance or Lank, whatever you want to call it. I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah.
I haven't had to. But
So, anyways, here's that interesting one. So the fort's here, but they
Mhm.
also have no fly even on the other side of the water. But if you look at this, it looks like I could fly straight down the water and I'd be legal
Mm.
as long as I was over the water. Okay,
Yep.
I'm gonna go do it someday.
do it.
I talked to somebody. Oh, I know. I talked to my picture friend. He was up there taking pictures, and he ran into a drone guy that was sitting over here by the bridge who literally went over there and flew his drone over there. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm going to do that someday.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know exactly what's there. But
Well, as I was going back to, a lot of these cities are using filming ordinances now, because a lot of them already have them on the books. Because, like I say, with the drones we have now, like I say, you got the Mavic 3 Pro, something like that, or even the original one. You can be out over that water and zoom in and get some excellent shots.
oh yeah. With the 7X, I can be
Yeah,
3 miles away. It still look like I'm almost on top of the thing.
right.
Oh my
So-
god. Yeah. Don't get me started.
Look at this mess.
But yeah,
Look at this
yeah.
mess down here. Look at this mess down here by NASA.
Tele lenses are shit. I don't care. I mean, yeah, you can get by with them, but don't.
Well,
The 3X
anything that
lens is
eventually,
really
once
good.
you go past the optical level, Chuck,
Yeah,
it's digitized.
yeah, I know you're pushing
I
it
tell
at that
people,
point.
even with
It's
that
just-
M30T I have, once I get past 18 times, I don't try to use it anymore.
I think Joe's right though. The seven time just it's natural 7 time is
Mm-hmm.
respectable.
In daylight, the 3X and the 7X on the Mavic 3 Pro are great.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but I get that. I mean, that's they have good functionality then. I'm just so spoiled by the 4/3. I am so spoiled by the 4/3 inch sensor and the amazing detail I get in anything.
You know what my problem
I
with the
can't use the other
4/3
one.
sensor is?
What is it? It's too good.
If you turn
Okay,
night
guys,
mode
I'm
on, if
heading
you
out.
turn night mode on,
Alright.
like when I'm trying to shoot rockets
Bye-bye.
at night,
Yeah.
you can't
Blows
you
up.
can't you can't zoom in on that 4/3. So my problem is I'm so far away that it looks like a little dot. So the 4/3
Yeah.
is
So see,
utterly useless for that case. So I
what you're-
need the
for-
optical
yeah.
zooms for what I'm
for
doing.
what you're doing, yeah. For
I
what
need a bigger
do, like,
optical zoom, in fact.
well, maybe the Mavic 4 will have something a little saucier in that department.
I wish they'd give us a true zoom lens. I wish they'd give us just a true
Yes,
zoom lens instead of
Yes, I mean,
two cameras.
give us right. How about this? Have the Mavic
4/3,
layout where you have
4/3 only with a zoom
4/3.
lens on it. Yeah.
or if they want to give you an optical zoom, have it be like a combination, like the Mavic 2 Pro and Zoom in one camera body, like they could do if they wanted to.
Yeah. So
That'd be epic, in my
So
opinion.
here-
That would give you what you want, what I want in one box.
yeah. So here's the Daytona area, Jerry and guys. Look how much of a mess the air crap is around Daytona. So when I fly in Daytona, I fly at a beach that's right here. It's literally right in between the two. When I do the
I see
nighttime,
that little swatch there.
yeah, when the nighttime launches are going off down at NASA, I go sit at that park. Because you can look straight down the coast and literally see the launch pad, or you see it come off the launch pad. I
Hmm.
know right where to look, but you could kind of see, and then look down here where Maddie and all of them are, and Uncle Bill, and look at all the air crap down there in Miami all the way up to Boca.
Ooh.
Trying to fly down there is interesting. And then you
Look at
can't
that.
go out, you can't fly in the Everglades.
Get piss off an alligator or get eaten by one.
Yeah, national park.
Ah, that's a no-no.
Yeah, that's
Well,
a
I
no-no.
found that I think you can get permission. Dre might have accomplished it, but they're pretty big hurdles. And the hardest one I found in a state park in New York is you have to say exactly what day you're doing it at what time. And like,
Yeah.
pretty hard to know how the weather's.
Here's
gonna
a
be.
Well,
here's an
when you-
interesting one, Dre. Explain
Going
this
through
one
the
to me.
process, you can pick the time. It give you like almost like an 8-hour window. They'll ask you for regular unlocking or whatever. You go from daylight to noon, from noon to 4, from 4
Yeah,
to
yeah.
9 p.m., something like that. But you're talking about different zones. I'm gonna show you what LA area looks like.
Oh, ugly. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I could zoom out to
Very,
that one.
very colorful.
Yeah.
It's
You
very
go to LA
colorful on the
area,
map.
and you
Yeah.
just see multiple layers.
Yeah,
Like, you can see it from,
exactly. I
different
you can
see.
see from
There's so
space.
many.
You could see it from space how bad it was before you even zoomed in. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah. And you see all that red up there, and then down here, and like I say, you got individual cities that you can't even take off from that are right on the coast there. Like I said, Santa Monica, Venice Beach,
Oh man, it'd be
some
beautiful
other
to
places
fly
like
too.
that. You can't even take off from those areas.
That sucks. It'd be so cool to get a pullback shot through the archway at Santa Monica Pier and stuff.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
And now that's the only thing I don't like
I don't know.
about.
Where's the pier at?
Well, the problem
here's
is
Santa
you see
Monica.
the airport right there. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah, right here. Yeah.
Well, that one there, but one down further.
Oh,
one
yeah,
fur-
yeah, yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
That's the
right here.
problem.
Yeah.
That's what shuts down everything down there.
Let's see here. Can I
Well,
get
like I
blank
said,
approval
ever
there?
since-
Is that should
Permissible 0 feet. Yeah. Yeah. You're kind of screwed.
0 feet. 0 feet is the problem. I mean, the minimum should always be like at least 50 flipping feet because you can't hurt anything 50 feet above the ground. Give me a break. It's like
Well, like
Actually-
I
all
said,
day.
I had to
Make
get
it-
one
make everybody-
near Ontario Airport to do a roof inspection, and it took me a month to get approval for it.
That was probably about 50 feet. That's all you needed.
I got
Well,
an
like I
inch.
said, I when you do this stuff, I always ask for 400, and they gave me 200.
Ah, see if that it's like haggling.
Right. As I say, always
Ask
ask
for
for
more.
more than you need.
Ask for more and get what you need, maybe.
That's right.
Wow,
That's
Dre.
it.
Gotta play the game, man.
So
That's it.
the lighthouse is right here. Okay, right. Yeah, right about here is where the lighthouse. Actually, the lighthouse is right about there. So that's where you fly.
Ouch.
Mhm.
The permissible is 50 feet.
Right.
So what's stupid about the FAA process around this is that lighthouse is 176 feet tall. So this is one of those where their standard template probably doesn't work very well. But
Now-
this is
now for
is
me-
where that shielded operations crap would really come into play, right? And
Yeah.
be useful for stupid stuff like this.
Now, the one thing I don't like about Lance is that since we have Lance has pretty much gone nationwide and almost every area you go to, they are very reluctant to give you coverage of operations, COAs, which I have 2 of those in my area. And that allows me to fly anytime I want, get up in the air, I'm up, ready to go, do what I got to do without having to get Lance approval, whatever I cast it may be, or have to, I got 400 feet no matter what. The only one I have to get permission from is way out here in the Moreno Valley, where the air base is at.
You can share.
I have a COA for that also, and I can fly, but I can't fly to the east of the runway. It's just can't take off. Even though I have a COA, I can't take off from there. at all.
Your
I can go to
picture's
the
much
west of
clearer
it.
now, Paul.
West of it and fly no problem. Even in zero grid, I can fly it no problem. But Lance now is that FAA does not want to give you any more COAs anymore unless it's some weird thing.
In case everybody didn't know, today is Paul's birthday.
Oh, happy
Hey,
birthday, Mr. Hodges.
hey, thank you. Yeah.
You have an ice cream bar on me today.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Give me a few minutes. We got bad storms rolling through here right now, so.
Yeah.
Hey, you got the same storms that I had.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wonder what the process is for the news stations who are running
there's
drones
a-
at the Daytona 500 track, because the
Well,
track
like I
is
say,
right
they
next
have
to
to
the
get
airport.
special permission from the FAA. Let me see, since that's on a set date each year, that weekend when they have it at and stuff, they probably apply for it months in advance.
Oh, I'm
to get-
sure.
Yeah, to get the clearance and everything else. So like I said, it's like when Super Bowls happen, there's still drone activity going on, but it's only for those who applied for it way in advance, and they gotta give
And
all the
Dre,
reasoning.
don't you think if it's an
Yeah.
annual event, it gets rubber stamped after a while, says, oh yeah, it's another one, another one, another
My
one.
COA
Yeah, who knows?
pretty much get that, but they try to push me off one this last year, and I said no, I still want it. They said, well, you got Lance. I said no, I don't want. I said I'm classified as a first responder. I don't want to have to deal with going through Lance.
Yeah.
I said
So
I need to
this
get
is-
up when I need to get up.
This is how close the track is to the airport. Here's the track. Here's the
Mhm.
runway.
Oh wow.
They're literally on the same property. Literally
Yeah.
on the same property.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's yeah. It's that
Yeah.
close.
So
So
I know.
I
The
wonder what
Miami
the-
area
I
is
wonder
pretty
what the
congested
procedure
also.
is.
Now I'm sure they had drones flying at the Miami Grand Prix this year and even last year. But like I say, that's all pre-planned and set up months in advance and everything else. Like I say, anything can be authorized, but
sure.
you just gotta have the qualifications.
You gotta know who to talk to get it.
Right. Know the have the qualifications and everything else. So who, what, when, and where, and and go from there.
There's zero danger of airplanes over there because the stands
Mhm.
are probably at least on the high side. I bet you they're 150 to 200 feet or more high, just the bloody stand. So yeah.
So I mean,
Your drone would be under the, technically, if they do the whole shielded operations crap, you'd be shielded operations flying in that area
Mhm.
because of the
Well,
stands.
I'm looking at the angle of the runway. So technically, you wouldn't, unless a manned aircraft had an emergency situation where they veered off.
yeah,
That's the real danger you have.
they're never going to veer them off over top of the track, especially not during an event.
Well, I'm just saying if they had a malfunction.
Oh,
like
yeah.
I say.
But that could
Something like
happen
that.
that could happen anytime, anywhere.
Right. That's my whole point, Dave. If a manned aircraft had a malfunction, that is more of a risk factor than a drone drifting over into the runway.
Oh
boat
yeah,
tire.
100%.
Yeah.
And the amount of private jets that are sitting around the airport property when that
Mhm.
event's going on is nutty.
Right.
So, anyways, that's how close the track is to the runway in Daytona. It's
Mm.
literally pretty much shared property.
Yeah. Wow.
Stop sharing. There we go. So there we go. Interesting areas for blank and where to fly.
Yeah.
Or not to
And
fly.
sometimes you just gotta know where you're at. That's what I tell folks. Know where you're at and find the little gaps, and you can still fly, but
Yeah, like
sometimes
that
you
little
gotta-
spot in Ormond, that
Yeah.
beach, that beach right between the two zones. I don't need link in those two zones. I'm golden. That's why I go there.
Yeah.
Plus, it's also the beach in the area. So,
What's up underground, Thomas?
although the police have been getting really raunchy there lately. It used to be when there were launches, they didn't mind people being at the park after dark. The cops have literally been sitting there and chasing me off if I try to park there after dark, even though there's a launch. So I don't know what they're going to do when there's a big launch, like the SLS goes up and there'll be like 100 people trying to all park at that park after dark. I don't know what the hell they're going to do then. The easy part for me is there's a beach ramp onto the beach, sort of right next door. So I just go over there, park and fly from there. But I haven't figured out what the hell's been going on in the area that the cops have been being an extra pain in the butt about chasing people away from that park. I don't know if it's homeless, drugs. It's just weird. It's been in the last 6 months that all of a sudden the cops are sitting there all the time after dark chasing people away.
How close is to I-95?
Long ways. It's by the ocean. 95's over on the west side.
Hmm.
So long ways from 95.
I know I-95 seems to be the drug traffickers trail. From
Oh,
north to
for
south.
sure. 95 and 75 in Florida. Probably every 10th car is probably running drugs. Not like they have very many options in Florida. Otherwise, you might drive into a swamp or drive into a lake.
Well, Mr. Murray, I'm gonna head out.
You're gonna head out for the heading
Yeah, I'm
home.
gonna head out for the day and the weekend.
There you go. Well, you have a great weekend, Dre.
All right, you too.
Hey,
You
where'd
guys
Chuck go?
be safe up here
Where'd
in
Chuck
Florida.
go?
Hey, he dropped
Who?
out.
Chuck had to go get Lori.
Oh, that's
I
right.
thought he had picked her up already.
So this was from this morning. So our conversation about the optical, right? So this is a manual pano off the 3X optical on the Mavic 3 Pro. Because DJI sees fit to not let you use the optical lenses to shoot panos in their software. I don't know why they couldn't. Hello, just changes the mathematics a little bit. Wouldn't it be hard for them to do? But they don't do it. So I have to do manual panos if I use the optical lenses. So I'm not sure what he's talking about the optical being crap, but I don't know. This don't look too bad.
What's up, Sunstar?
It's just constant thunder here, Paul, just roaring.
Oh,
all
I
the time.
know. It just keeps rolling, doesn't it?
Hey, do you use I don't know if it works up there in Canada or not, but I'll put it into the chat. It's a website that I use. I love this website. So I keep my radar up and sort of watch for the radar, and then I keep this website up to sort of see whether there's a bunch of lightning, if there's any lightning in the storm, so that I can take my drone out and try to fly and catch lightning strikes before, well, it starts raining. It's the other thing about having the Mavic 3 Pro with the optical zoom on it. Hey, you're welcome, Sunstar.
Yeah.
Well, you already went to dinner with the lady, didn't you, Paul?
Huh?
Did you go to dinner with the lady already?
A lunch. Yeah, we were about 1 o'clock.
Well, 1 o'clock. Okay. What I kind of thought.
And look, hey, this right here. Oh, wrong one again. I always keep on that. Let's try this again. Cool. Yep, this is it. See all the hydro? Look at 11 spots there. 13. But if you go in closer, you'll see them open right up. Like, here's St. Thomas. Half of St. Thomas is out right now.
Yep.
But this is all no hydro all around these areas. Look at this. No hydro at all. Like you go over here, right there, no hydro. Wow, it's just all over the place.
It looks like power out everywhere, huh?
Oh, yeah, it's just
Have they gotten your power back up yet, Paul, or is it still out?
Oh, it's still out.
It must have hit something bad then.
good thing you got a generator, Paul.
Probably took
Yeah, it
out
was a hassle.
transformer.
It was a hassle, but yeah, what I had to do, Paul, is I had to lug it into the garage, manually open up the garage door, hook the cables to my truck to the generator to fire it up, because when I hit the button, it just went. "Rrr, rrr."
Well, it should charge itself up now, Paul, that it's been running for a while.
Isn't
Yeah,
that a
but,
6-volt
they don't
battery
have
though?
that big a battery on them. They just got, one of those batteries about like this size,
Yeah,
It
those are
does.
6-volt batteries.
It's just a lawnmower battery.
Anyways, that website I linked in there for the lightning maps thing.
Yep.
And apparently it works in Canada too. I'm looking at that area now.
Yeah. No.
That storm's got a shit ton of a crap
How
ton of
the hell
lightning.
do they actually track that though? Did they just
Monitors.
Huh.
And weather stations and sound stations and yeah.
Well, one each for here just ended. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll share another sunrise for Sunstar here. Another one of my hand stitch panos.
Oh, it don't look bad.
No, it doesn't look bad at all.
That's-
The weird part about the ocean and panos is because of the waves and crap, right? And trying to get.
Kind of more looks like a painting than it does an actual picture.
Mm-hmm. This one turned out good. Just don't ever look down. Don't ever be close enough to catch the waves by the shore. The panel will never turn out right because it can't get the waves lined up.
it blurs it out, right?
Yeah, no, you can see the lines.
Where it tries to stitch the waves together.
Yeah, it tries to stitch it. It just doesn't look right. Trying to see. I probably got one in another folder. Let's see here. Stop share. Share screen. Let me pick this other picture. This is a cool picture I did last week. This is a thunderstorm rolling in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Trevor, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I gotta sit down and do some pictures here right shortly.
I put the drone up because I was hoping for lightning. You'd be amazed there was very little lightning in this freaking storm.
No. No, you're fine.
Anyways, use that lightningmaps.org. It's great if you want to track lightning.
It's still raining hard, Paul?
Yeah, but the severe storm watch is over now. It just ended a couple of seconds ago.
Can you guys see the flashes, the circles coming up on the screen?
Yep.
Those are all lightning strikes.
Yeah.
Look up here.
Yeah.
175 a minute. Lightning strikes is what it's estimating.
Oh, it didn't constant thunder right here, right now. Yeah.
Yeah. I can see why. Look at the good news is most of it looks like it's over the water at the moment.
Joe, you get your speaker come in yet?
Hey,
Wasn't that supposed to be there today?
I suppose I should zoom this in a little bit. You can see where all the strikes were.
Yeah, I'm right there, St. Thomas, right in the middle.
Yeah, I can see it. It was all down by the shoreline.
Yeah,
Is where most of the lightning was, and a little bit just to the north.
yeah. Look at them there, just
Oh
right-
yeah, even right now they're popping off just to the southeast of you over the lake.
yeah. That's where my sister is right now. I'm just texting her back and forth. Yeah,
Anyways, I love
Yeah.
this website.
yeah.
It's useful for trying to film lightning and know whether the storm has lightning in it.
Yeah.
So just me, one of my tools. My God, 100 a minute. Holy crap.
Oh,
That storm is nasty.
Yeah. Yeah.
That thing is super nasty. I don't
Oh,
think
it's-
I've ever seen anything like that.
At least it's pretty well gone by me now. So I know why the dogs are bugging me. I haven't fed them yet. Yeah.
Oh,
So what time is it?
Poor dogs.
6:22.
Yeah. Getting a little quieter. You gonna keep it going for a bit, Paul, or what?
I don't know. What do you think?
Well, if not, if you are, I'm just gonna go downstairs. But if not, I'll sign off and then.
Well, yeah, go ahead and feed him. We'll stick around.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Justin's, are you with us still, Justin?
Yeah, I'm sitting here.
Okay.
Sunstar says, hot rod, I'm in Florida, see many cool skies, but 170 mile per hour isn't cool. I don't know.
That many lightning strikes? Is that what he's talking about?
I
170 miles per hour is what he's saying.
Oh,
The
I
wind.
don't know what they meant by that.
oh, there's the answer to how they're finding it. Trevor put in there's radio receivers that are out there.
Yeah, I was reading that. I was just curious how they were actually tracking that, or if they were just guessing or what. Okay, cool,
Uh-uh.
Joe. So it just came in, works great. Nice. Well, I didn't know if they were like doing it with satellites or how they were doing that. I was curious how that whole system worked. Well, you know those one sound machines that the cops use, some
Yeah, in the
police
cities
departments?
for the guns.
Yeah, those things are actually very accurate. They can track down to just a
Extremely.
few feet of where the sound came from.
Yeah, extremely accurate.
What did AZ post?
Fiercepharma.com. See what this is. Pfizer's massive North Carolina plant heavily damaged by tornado, prompting new U.S. drug supply fears.
Hmm.
Yeah, it cleared right up here, Justin. That's a crossover to Canada.
Yeah, you're just waiting for them to fix whatever the hell the storm screwed up. Probably took out a transformer or something.
Yeah, so what I'm watching is I've used only just maybe an eighth to a quarter of a tank of fuel. It's got a great big fuel tank on top, but
Well, if it's a transformer, you're probably looking at about 4 to 6 hours of being out.
so I probably
Oh,
will go
fish.
get some more gas. I've got my empty 5-gallon gas can sitting out here. So.
Honestly, you should have that thing full all the time with fuel treatment in it to keep the gas good. Then you don't have to worry about it when that time.
I haven't
comes
filled
around.
mine up yet for hurricane season, but we really haven't had one that, well, has been
Or-
worth noticing yet.
You don't run it every once in a while just to
I
run it,
do.
or-
It's got
Uh,
fuel. I got fuel
just-
and preserved it. In
just
fact,
have
the
it-
new generator I got, I don't need to worry about that because it's not carbureted. It's fuel injected.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it'll start anyways.
Yeah,
I got
it's
tired.
just-
I got tired of the old one.
Yeah, the older generators, if you didn't run them all the time, if you let them sit more
You
than a
got-
year, they were fucked.
You got to turn the fuel valve off and run them until they shut off so that there's no fuel in the rubberized line to It turns into sort of a caramel. I know I had generators in the military. We had the same issues with not running them. Anyways, I took care of that last year by buying this fuel injected thing. The other part of it is it has both 30 amp and 50 amp. So I need to convert my box over to a 50 amp. I'll be right back.
My neighbor did the same thing what I'm thinking about doing. He went and got 10 gallons worth of fuel in 2 5-gallon plastic containers.
Right, you just want to make sure you put that fuel treatment in there and it keeps the gas from going bad. It extends the lifespan of it by months and months and months. So you don't have to worry about it getting all nasty over time. You just dump a little bottle of that in each gas can. It's what is it? That fuel treatment? What the hell is it called? Oh, Skip said there's a bunch of trees down on the power lines. Yeah, you might be out for a minute, Paul. You might want to go get gas as soon as possible. Otherwise, there's probably people rushing to the gas station to get gas for generators.
If they got hydro.
Well, it depends on how big of an area is out in his area. Otherwise, it might be hard to get some gas because you know how people will overbuy just to overbuy.
Yeah.
You might end up having to drive a little bit of ways to get gas.
Yep. Okay, Skippy, that sounds like a good idea. I'm my tenant's gonna go to the store for me, so I'll be right back, guys.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Beautiful down here in Marina City.
Marine.
Or Marine City? Is it Marina? Marine?
Yeah, that's
So
one camera is down there, down south of Paul.
they might be out of power for a day or so then if the lines are all down.
Ah, get bent.
Oh, it's gonna be yeah, it depends how many trees have fallen, but it could be at least a day.
Yeah,
'Cause
well,
they have to clear the trees out and all that crap and then restring the lines, and that's if no poles have gotten knocked over.
yeah, and they won't fix the lines if the storm is still there, so. But what I'm looking at over Paul's shoulder looks pretty good now. It looks like blue sky there.
Yeah, he just said a minute ago it cleared out. It's not over him anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, look at it.
But they'll have crews out there all night. I would bet that he'd probably, if it's not too many damage to the poles themselves,
Yeah.
he should have power back by probably the middle of the night, maybe.
Yeah, probably milk. Yeah.
Cause they'll have crews on that until it's fixed. So they'll be out there all night and all day if they have to.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Those guys will make bank anyway, the guys that are out there after hours. Emergency crew linesmen, you talking about, they make some damn good money. But see, that's why it's so hard to get on with utility companies, because they don't really have a high turnover rate.
No.
Usually when one position comes open, it's because one guy retired at the top and everybody trickled up a spot.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
there's an opening up for like an apprentice type, position where you get to come in and you're kind of a throw around for a year or so, and then you become a full-fledged employee.
Yeah, that's funny too. Port Huron camera's still going. They must have hydro. But they
Yeah.
may backup generator there too, though.
Well, it could be, or they're on a whole different grid. Cause there's times where your entire neighborhood could be out and then you look across the main road into the neighborhood across from you and they'll have full power.
Yeah, that's like my sister where she lives.
Like when we were out of power, remember a couple weeks ago when that transformer blew up?
Yeah,
The neighborhood across the street all had power, but our neighborhood didn't.
yeah.
LA, what's up? Venture awaits. That's a long ass name. Won't be too long. But yeah, if I was Paul, I'd definitely give my tenant to the nearest gas station as quick as possible.
Yeah, this storm just about over for me now. It's just about gone by.
Cause I'm sure all the gas stations within a 5-mile radius are gonna get slammed.
It's the beauty of where I live. Right down the street is a Love's.
Uh-huh.
And that is one of the emergency recovery areas for all the power line guys to collect.
Uh-huh.
So the freaking state police will literally escort the tanker trucks to that gas station. So I'm pretty
Yeah.
well assured that I'll be able to get gas for my generator. Although
Well,
I think I keep 7 gas cans. I have like 35 gallons. That's like that's about a 7-day supply of going 4 hours on, 4 hours off for like 7 days. So I'm
Well, I mean,
golden.
that's the way to, and that's the thing is if you have with the first little bit of inkling that there might be a storm, whether you even know
Yeah,
it's
you
gonna
go get
form or
your
not.
you go get your shit long
Yeah.
before everybody else. When
Yeah,
it's out in the
because
middle of the Atlantic and it looks like my water is stocked up and my gas is stocked up. That's usually what causes me to do it the first time. I don't wait
Mhm.
until they're going, oh yeah, it's going to come close, because then everybody panics and goes.
right.
So I always wait for the first one of the year that kind of, is out in the middle of the Atlantic and it's like, okay, this one looks like it's going to be, so, and then I'll go stock all my crap up. So at least gas and water. Food and
No,
everything
that's-
else I've always got, so that's no big deal.
Oh, you Elderberry pie, excellent. Oh, as always.
Well, the one thing we never lose is water. And that's
Yeah, we don't
because-
either. We have well water here in the community. We don't lose sewer either because we have our own sewer plant.
Yeah. Well, all the sewage and water, if you go into all the neighborhoods, every neighborhood has a Generac like station.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a generator there that runs all the water and sewer for each section of the city. So like right across the street from my house, they actually have one of those generators and the guy comes once every month and he cleans out the inside the gate, cleans it all off and, cleans everything. And then he runs it for a couple hours and turns it off, runs it for a couple more hours. And, goes through a whole checklist on it and everything. But yeah, every single neighborhood has that somewhere in the neighborhood, there will be a little station, little gated off area, and they'll have a little generator in there to run the water and everything. The water pumps and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the 2 hurricanes I've been through, we never lost water or sewage. It was just always power. And natural gas was never lost neither.
Okay. So here's a pano off the drone. It's a bit more square. The other part I like about doing the manuals, I can basically, usually I just do straight horizontal. And straight horizontal is not an option in the DJI app. I just want left to right. I don't need to see all this dark crap underneath me, kind of thing.
Nice.
But this was this morning. That's That's that scene.
LA's like, I hunt the most elusive creature, human.
Hmm. So him, Freddie, and Jason. Those are the ones we need to be scared of. Got it. So, anyways, there were some clouds out there this morning, so it made for an interesting sunrise. The other thing I'm finding rather interesting is since I got the Mavic 3 Pro, I seem to shoot a lot of fucking photos instead of video with that drone for whatever reason.
Yeah, well, you'll get a lot more views from photos. I don't know what it is. Go on YouTube, go on Facebook and put a photo up and look how many views and likes you'll and comments you get.
Yeah, I post to a couple of local Facebook sites.
And then just
I get
post
it.
a little like 30-second, 1-minute video. Nothing. You won't get jack shit on it. But people, you post a picture like that and you'll get 1,000 comments, 1,000 likes, bunch, 5,000 views on it. It's insane. And
Well, you know what? Go
isn't
ahead.
it weird how easy it is to grow a Facebook group over a YouTube channel? Have you
Yeah.
noticed that?
You know, the one thing I've been thinking about doing since I've noticed that I'm doing more photos than videos is doing a video that's a photo montage kind of thing.
I told Ron he needs to do a
That would actually be
coffee-
kind of cool.
I think Ron needs to do a coffee book table or a coffee, what is it, a coffee table book? You know, one of the ones that you put all your
Oh,
nature
yeah.
photos in.
Yeah.
I think he should build his own little book and send it into some publishers. I mean, it wouldn't hurt just to see what happens.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God. All the pictures all of us drone guys have. Can you imagine how many calendars we could create with the content that we have?
Well, but there's so many people like Ron does amazing photos with his cameras when he goes
Oh
out.
yeah, he's got that nice Sony.
Like he doesn't play around with his drone as much as he does his cameras, but with his cameras, man, he takes such good photos, but he doesn't really share them out with the world. But
Well,
a little bit
Ron
on
is mostly
Facebook.
he's a wildlife photographer.
Well, that's what I'm saying is he doesn't really share with it on Facebook, on YouTube. But for Ron, he was to sit down and put a book together. Publishers or even send it to National Geographic, different companies. You never know. He could get a good filler out there. He might get something back. I mean, it wouldn't be what's the worst that happens? You're in the same boat where you started in. But you might have that one shot that somebody wants or something. I mean, he could probably get money if he started putting his photos on damn what is it? The thing Matt always jokes about and tells him he steals his photos from. I'm having a mind blank. But like when you can buy photos offline to use like stock footage, you know?
Yeah. Crap. Yeah, I'm having the same problem you are.
I know, and Matt makes fun of him all the time about it. But yeah. I think Ron could do it if you really sat down and just put some pictures together. Had them professionally printed out on some really good paper. Put a nice little book together and send them out.
So this is for Chuck. Here's another 3x picture. I know it's 3x because the ocean looks like it's a hell of a lot closer that I took. I just haven't made the pano out of this picture yet. Probably should.
Shutterstock, yeah, Ken. Jesus,
Shutterstock. There we
couldn't
go.
fucking think of it. Yeah.
And
Hey, Shutterstock's a big business for the Chinese. They love stealing Shutterstock photos and using them in their fake ads for their fake, their cheap crap they like to sell you.
And then this is the 7x. Look how close the ocean looks.
It's probably far as hell away, huh?
3.5 to 4 miles.
Not bad.
Not bad on that 7X. Not bad at all. I'm getting no freaking complaints.
Dennis Lovelady was using his zoom in one day, when he was doing his live stream, he was zooming in on some stuff and it looked pretty good.
Out
Yeah.
to about 14 or 15x, which is on that lens is basically 2x, right? It's 7 times 2. Up to 14, the 2x digital on that up to 14x is not bad. I've used it before.
Imagine if they could take Sony's 108 times and put it on there.
Yeah, well,
I'll tell you what though, for their zoom quality though, when you actually zoom in that far, it's surprisingly stable. You would think, you know how back in the day you could zoom in real far with stuff but it was so blurry, and
yeah,
so unstable, you couldn't even see what you were looking at.
yeah.
But I'll tell you what, I can take my phone and zoom in and I think it's, let me see what the zoom.
That's because it
times
has
are.
optical and electronic stabilization built in.
Right. But the zoom quality is amazing. Like I
Mhm.
can zoom in like 30 feet from like when I was working at the gas company, I could zoom in 30 feet from a gas meter and read the numbers clear as day.
Yeah, I've been thinking about getting an S23 Ultra because I have a 21 and my 21's got a crack screen and it's got some issues, but it's still working.
A 200 megapixel camera.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm gonna hold off, and I'll tell you why I'm gonna hold off. Supposedly the S24, and that's what I wanted to wait on anyways, was the S24. Anyways, but supposedly the S24 will come with the ability to connect to the satellites,
Ooh, interesting.
which would be fucking useful here in Florida during hurricanes when all the
Yeah,
power
well,
and you can't get the towers.
but
If you
would
could
you have
bounce
to-
off if you could
would
bounce
you-
off satellites, that would be great.
Would you have to pay roaming charges or anything? For that,
I
though?
don't know what it is. It's meant for emergency. It's not meant. You won't be able to do data off of it. You'll be able to do phone calls off from it.
Hey, Paul.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I guess Paul's power went out or his gas ran out.
Okay.
Well,
Since Justin is now the master,
Am I the host?
you are the host.
Yeah, I am. Start
No
kicking
problem.
everybody out the chat.
Now Paul lost his cable again, hydro or internet. So he
Yeah,
can
I'm sure.
do with it, Justin. You can just shut it down, do whatever.
All right. Well, yeah, it's kind of slow. I mean, really nobody in
Yeah.
the chat or anything.
Holy caramba!
Hmm.
No wonder. Holy crap! Let me screen share this. Huh. No wonder you guys are getting bounced. Holy crap! That's like
Yeah, it's really bad.
it's like almost all of Lake Erie
Yeah, yeah.
is in this storm. I mean,
And
the
Mike-
tail end of that storm goes all the way to Fort Wayne.
It cleared out of Paul's area now, so he's
Yeah,
got
it
blue
cleared out of
skies.
there, and now it's clearing out of.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
starting to clear out of me now.
Yeah, it's starting to clear out of you, but Jesus.
Well, it's going around Toronto and Hamilton and stuff. And
Yeah,
that's what my son is right now. They're gonna head home pretty soon, him and the family. But they're gonna have fun. Yeah, we got a lot of places here, no hydro now.
yeah. Who's gonna get smacked is Buffalo.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna take off anyway, so we should probably just shut it down for now.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump off too. All right, everybody. We'll see you
Later.
again next time.
You know, yeah, just shut her down there because you got the control, haven't you, Justin?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
All right, everybody. We'll see you guys again tomorrow.